this briefing comes to you on the 16th of September, 2021. And I wanted to talk to you about friendship. And it's one of the themes that we circle back to quite a few times here on the briefing, but I think it's so important in our lives, and God has given it to us as a gift, and so we should pay attention to friendship and foster friendship and build friendship as we can. For many years, I have been ordering a small devotional book put out by Ligonier Ministries, and the little book is called Table Talk. And it has provided me with so much spiritual encouragement over the years that it's well worth the cost for me each year to pay for the subscription. And this month, the month of September, a pastor by the name of Paul Bankson wrote an article entitled, "What Are Friends For?" And he references a 2010 movie that received several Academy Awards, or at least one Academy Award, entitled The King's Speech. And the movie has some vulgar language in it, and so cannot really be recommended. But the story of The King's Speech is fascinating. It's the story of the future king of England by the name of King George VI. He reluctantly came to the throne after his brother abdicated. And the king had a significant struggle with stuttering. And it was a condition he developed as a child. And he consulted a speech therapist by the name of Lionel Logue. And he helps the king overcome this struggle. And the king is enabled to address the nation through a radio address at the outbreak of the war with Germany in 1939, a precursor to World War II. This was a speech given in a great historical moment, and that's where the movie title came from, The King's Speech. But in many ways, the title of the movie is a little different than what really happened in the movie, because it was really the story of the future king of England having a friendship develop with Lionel Logue. And these two men were an unlikely friendship, but it happened as Lionel tried to help the king overcome his difficulty time and time again. And at one point in the movie, Lionel and the king are talking, and maybe for the first time, King George VI shares some painful memories with Lionel Logue. And he thanks Lionel for his listening ear. And Lionel replies, "What are friends for?" And the king sadly replies, "I wouldn't know." I'm afraid that the response of King George VI is one that many of us might give today. We have lost the gift and the glory of friendship. And there are a number of factors to blame for this. We've traded talking for texting. We've abandoned fellowship for Facebook. Social media has, in reality, become anything but social media. And the season of COVID-19 has pushed people further away from each other. And we've lost our grip on the blessing of real friendship. And this is true especially for men. And the Bible has a lot to say about friendship. Probably the passage that we would think of most often is John 15. Jesus here says, "No longer do I call you servants, for the servant does not know what his master is doing. But I have called you friends, for all that I have heard from my Father, I have made known to you." This is incredible. Jesus, the Son of God, turns to his disciples and says, "You are my friends." He shares life with them. He shares his burdens with them. He shares his commission with them. We are also given earthly friends. And they may even be closer at times than our own family. Proverbs 18:24 tells us, "A man of many companions may come to ruin, but there's a friend that sticks closer than a brother." Some of us have experienced pain and dysfunction in our families, but God gives us friends to come alongside us and fill that gap. What are friends for? Well, when we look at the scriptures, we find that they are especially there to help us deal with all kinds of issues that we face in life. Friends are for the hard times. Proverbs 17:17, "A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity." This is when friendship means the most. Friends come alongside us and help to shoulder the load. Friends are for sharpening us. Proverbs 27:17 says, "Iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another." What does that sharpening look like? Well, Proverbs 27:6 says, "Faithful are the wounds of a friend." Notice that even the wounds that a friend inflicts on us, maybe rebuke, maybe confronting us, even those wounds are faithful when they come from a friend who has our good in mind. Friends are for encouraging. Another verse from Proverbs chapter 27, verse 9. "Oil and perfume make the heart glad, and the sweetness of a friend comes from his earnest counsel." A friend's words to help and to encourage are a sweet smell to us. They are more than pleasant. Encouragement can be life-sustaining, and it gives us life, like a tall glass of ice water on a summer day after mowing the lawn. That's what friendship is. So refreshing. Has God blessed you with friends? You probably came home from school one day complaining about being alone, and maybe you looked up at your mom or your dad and you said, "Nobody likes me. I don't have any friends." And you probably heard the response from your mom and dad that went something like this: "Are you being a friend?" The one who has friends is the one who is friendly. So I would encourage you to pursue friendship. Don't give in to the pressure around us to give up on friendship today, or to simply text people or look on Facebook and count your friends, but actually reach out to people, actually make a phone call to people, hear their voice. As possible, meet with people in person. Be a friend. The last paragraph of Bankston's article reads like this: "In the closing scene of the King's speech, King George VI gives a word of encouragement to the people of England on the brink of war with Germany. Standing beside him and encouraging him through every word and syllable of the speech is Lionel Logue. Shortly after the speech, the king turns to him and says to him, 'Thank you, Logue, my friend.'" The king did learn what friends are for, and likewise we should too. Let us pursue this grand and glorious gift of friendship that the Lord gives us. Let us rejoice in our friendship with the King of Kings. C.S. Lewis says it well: "Is any pleasure on earth as great as a circle of Christian friends by a fire? I think not."